every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Delightful stories for young and old, all about Thomas the Tank Engine and friends. Ringo Starr tells stories of Thomas the Tank Engine and friends every Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
Motorists, for a really fun day out, bring your family to central London. Mingle with the crowds.
Look at all the latest lines.
Meet Londoners as they really are.
Of course, you could always settle for a tube cheap day return. Travel after 10 a.m. weekdays or any time at weekends and save up to a third.
Get a ticket that could entitle you to a fabulous accessory for your car. Yes, you'll have so much fun, you won't be able to drag yourself away.
What could be nicer than waking up in Barbie's fabulous dream cottage? Good morning, Barbie. What could be more fun than starting the day with a dip in Barbie's deluxe dream pool? Good morning, Ken. Then a ride on Barbie's motorbike, down to the stables to say, good morning, Dixie. Good morning, Dallas. What could be nicer? Sharing it all with a friend. Barbie from Mattel, the world's #1 name in toys.
Get Select One. 12 great computer games all on one cassette. Select One, incredibly, only $12.49.
Return of the Jedi. The rebel command force is captured by the Ewoks. What fate awaits them in the model Ewok village? The Ewoks line up their captives as Chief Chirper arrives in the lift. Han Solo is turned on the spit. No one can reach the Ewok village protected by the swinging boulder. Can C-3PO save his friends? Only you can decide with Star Wars toys.
I know what breakfast is all about. It's ready break, there ain't no doubt. I get my spoon round that yummy stuff. Without it, mornings would be kinda tough. And so it would seem, as a rule, it's ready break that makes me really cool. Get up and glow with ready break.
Eddie Grant, all the hits, all on one explosive album. Don't miss a beat of it.
Aim for the facts. Margarines made from vegetable oil or sunflower oil are high in fat. St. Ivel Gold has half the fat of any margarine. Aim low.
Old pressure cookers were always good for your food. But a little rough on the nerves. That's all changed with the new Prestige Ultra Automatic. Switch on. When the indicator rises, set the timer. When it's ready, the Ultra Automatic will call you. No hiss, no drama. The Prestige Ultra range brings pressure cooking out of the steam age.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start.
Do you mind if I ask a personal question?
No. What is it?
In my heart, I have
Share the fantasy. Chanel number 5.
Look, I'm busy learning this magic trick. Can't you watch a program on your own?
Now, come on, why won't it work?
living out your dream. Is it just a frame of mind? Are things what they seem? Sense impressions you can find. Searching for the mystery in a world of fantasy and illusion. Illusions. 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 Hello again. In this series, we've talked about magicians who have gone from rags to riches. We all like to believe there's something better for us round the corner. Helps to make us feel good. But
We've a little story for you now of a magician and his assistant whose day started rather badly.
What do you think you're playing at? I see better acts down the market. Call that a performance? On your way.
How dare he speak the great Kiraggio this way?
Oh, Kerry, I'm better with this.
Oh, do not cry, my little petal. For you.
Oh.
Here, Trace, let's go and get something to eat. I've had enough of all this.
But we can't afford it.
Never mind, Trace, we'll manage somehow. I reckon all the bus is going to start. Delicious, Trace. How are we going to pay for it, though?
Well, don't look at me. I haven't got any money. Here.
You thinking what I'm thinking? It's going to be the act, isn't it? Go on, get that chap over there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try a magical experiment to defy the laws of gravity. This has been attempted in front of the Duke of York, the Prince of Wales, and many other famous pubs. My assistant, Tracy, and this gentleman that she seems to have picked up from off the pavement are going to try and help me. Tracy, you're in my power. You're going under. If you can be ready to catch her, please, when she falls. Under! If you will now take her neck and rest her gently on this chair, and I will rest her feet on this chair. Tracy is now, thank you, sir, in a hypnotic trance, being supported only by her neck here and her feet here. Now, with your help, I am going to try an experiment in telekinetic levitation. Please, if everybody concentrates, we will try to attempt a miracle. Please, will you all concentrate? Hard, now! It is our thoughts which are suspending Tracy in this state. Thank you. As you can see, Tracy has no need of my support, but I have a wife, 4 rabbits, and 8 doves to support. So please, give generously. If you will please help me with Tracy's head, lift up the head, please, sir, and we will put her down. Tracy, out! Thank you.
We're in the money, the skies are sunny. Oh man, depression, you are through, you done us wrong. We never see a headline about a bread line today. And when we see the landlord, we can look that guy right in the eye. We're in the money, come on, my honey. Let's spend it, land it, stand it, rolling, come on. Right on.
Did you see the way he suspended on thin air? Amazing. Today we're going to look at the mysteries of Eastern and Indian magic, and we'll be seeing some amazing things. So don't float off into another room, or you might just miss something. Most eyewitness accounts of people floating, apparently in thin air, originate from India. Now, before the last war and the days of the British Empire, Great Britain had colonies all over the world, as did other European countries like Spain, France, Holland, Belgium, Germany, and Portugal. Consequently, there was a great deal of travel and trade between East and West, in gossip and rumour as well as goods. Colourful tales brought back by Westerners from these far-flung corners of the earth interested and excited people, especially tales about exotic magical feats which have been seen. Indian magic conjured up all sorts of exciting images, fakers lying on beds of nails, sword swallowers, snake charmers, and so on. And there was one trick that really startled the Victorian ladies and made them shudder. It was known as the Hindu basket. great, wasn't it? Tales of tricks like these gave Eastern and Indian wizardry a great reputation, and audiences developed a thirst for magic from distant lands like China, Persia, and India. Western magicians were quick to leap onto the bandwagon to supply the needs of their audiences by dressing in elaborate Eastern costumes and also assuring them that what they were about to see had never ever been seen before in the Western world. Theatres were packed with eager audiences. Now, talking about India, Sarkar was a real Indian magician who toured the world and broke box office records in 61 cities. That'll give you some idea of how popular Indian magic became. Did you know there was a hole in the centre of every piece of Indian rope? Let me just show you. Tie a knot in a rope. It disappears. Now, as you know, a ring can only go on a rope from that end and that end. It is completely impossible to put it on in the middle. I'll do that again. There's the rope through the ring. Put the ring and the rope into the centre, and it comes off. Now, that is not the Indian rope trick, although the rope is Indian and it is a trick. But the Indian rope trick is probably the most famous and most talked about in the history of magic. And we'll take a good look into that great mystery later in the programme. Today's young magician is only 12 years old. His name is Carl Jull, and he's terrific. So watch this. Thank you, Carl. That really was super. Now for the Indian rope trick. I'm going to throw this rope up in the air, see if it goes stiff, then I'm going to climb up and completely disappear. Drum roll, please. Hocus pocus, abracadabra, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Whee! Didn't work. Of course it didn't work. How could it? Nevertheless, the Indian rope trick is probably the most talked about trick in the history of magic. In the more glamorous accounts of its performance, the rope, when thrown up, actually disappears into the clouds, as does the boy who climbs up after it. Then magically he reappears on the ground again. Now, there are dozens of versions and variations in the same theme. For example, in India, the Emperor of Hindustan included a story in his memoirs of a feat performed by 7 Bengalese magicians. Now, they apparently tossed a chain towards the clouds, and then, wait for it, a dog, a boy, a panther, a lion, and a tiger all climbed up the chain and disappeared into space. Amazing. Now, everyone wanted to see the rope trick as described in the legend, but no one ever had. Now, Western magicians were only too pleased to oblige with stage versions of this supposed trick. Now, of course it's possible in a theatre for a really good illusionist, under carefully controlled conditions, to recreate the Indian rope trick. But the fact remains that the Indian rope trick, as described in the legend, taking place outside with boys climbing up and disappearing into the air without any evidence of trickery, has never, ever been seen. You know yourselves how stories often get exaggerated when they pass from one person to another. Now, many travellers, including magicians, have searched all India in vain for evidence of it, and thousands of pounds of rewards have been offered for discovery of its practice. And countless challenges have been thrown down throughout the centuries, including one from the Magic Circle, to possible performers, but no one has ever come forward. Now, today in Illusions, we're going to issue the latest challenge. We'll give £1,000 cash to anyone who can perform the Indian rope trick according to the legend. I'll guarantee it cannot be done, because the Indian rope trick is, in fact, the trick that never was. Now, do remember, don't go tying ropes to trees or friends or your little brothers or sisters or anything like that, or you'll get me shot. Now we've said what can't be done, let's show you what we can do. Come on. Now, as well as Sorkar, there was another great and famous Indian-style magician called Ali Bey. Now, apart from the excitement generated by the Indian rope trick, Ali Bey's stage shows were marvellously exotic and Eastern in flavour. Now, I've had a dig around in the Davenport Magical Collection and I've dusted down and restored one of Ali Bey's great illusions, and we're going to present it especially for you. So here, for the first time ever on television, India Magic, Ali Bey style. That was super. Next week, magic involving the elements air, fire, and water in action. I promise you a flaming good show, so don't miss it. Bye.
Living out your dream isn't just a frame of mind. Are things what they seem? Sense impressions you can find. Searching for the mystery in a world of fantasy and illusions. Reaching through your dream, life will play its fickle game. Tantalizing scheme, sense deception is her aim. When you seek the mystery in a world of fantasy and illusions.
I've got this all worked out. There's no problem here. Anyone can do this card trick. Of course, manual dexterity is vital. Now, you must be able to manipulate the cards with a smooth sophistication. Now, look, I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. I think I'll just stick to reading Look In. It's a roller rat edition this week, and there's a free gift, see? No, you can't read mine. Go and buy your own. I'll see you on Monday.
There's more great hits on the Hits album, from Prince to George Michael. A superb double album. Make it yours. Ask for the Hits album.
The best things in life cost a little more, but they're worth it. Like Panache by Lothric. Panache is a fragrance with flair, charm, and lots of style. Panache is classical, and when you wear it, everybody notices. Panache by Lothric, one of the good things in life. Going shopping by car can sometimes be a most unnerving experience.
How much cheaper and easier it is to go shopping by bus. Shopping by bus, it leaves the car standing.
Braun multi-practic hand blenders waltz through every kind of blending, liquidizing and pureeing. And the new deluxe model has variable speed and whisk attachments. The Braun multi-practic hand blenders.
Hello, Mother. How is Father? I'm missing home.
He is, rather.
So thanks for bringing Heinz new home style. The potato and leek makes your son smile.
New home style from Heinz. So thick and warming, it could almost, very nearly, be homemade.
The country veg, the skipper likes. Beef and veg, that one's Mike's. Heinz new home style, say my chums. Tastes almost as good as my mum.
Heinz new home style.
When my man puts on blue stratos, I don't
need to sing a blues.
Blue Stratos. Cool, quiet confidence.
Rondo Veneziano. Music you'll want to listen to again and again.
Hey, Rat fans! Don't miss this super Rat on the Road poster and starter stickers of Roland Rat and the gang. They're free only in this week's Look-In. Yeah!
Well, my word, that's just about it. But the good news is, of course, we're back with you bright and early come Monday morning here at Thames, to be exact at 25 minutes past 9 with the Thames news headlines. Between now and then, have a great London weekend. Steve Clark, it's all yours.
Thank you, Tom. A judge has scrapped plans to rehabilitate a persistent child sex offender because of a public outcry. Edward Hobson was jailed for a year today. It was revealed he'd assaulted 4 girls on an Ealing housing estate where he'd been housed on release from Broadmoor. The director of the North London Polytechnic is to quit. David McDowell refuses to say if it's connected with protests over National Front activist Patrick Harrington. 2 prisoners at Wormwood Scrubs jail are holding a fellow inmate hostage. They're reported to be armed. An inquiry into the death of Michelle Welling, who died on spiked railings at the Somerstown estate, has blamed Camden Council. They were accused of failing to respond to local complaints and act. Queen's Park Rangers say that coach Frank Sibley will take charge of the team for tomorrow's Everton game after attempts to sign Don Revie as manager failed. And the fastest pluckers in the world were in Hawley today for the championship. It was held by the reigning champ. More on these at 6.